Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to bring you a preparation video on the new event that is coming to a game of a TCG event. As you might know me, I'm a TCG YouTuber basically and Telegraph for sometimes, and I really enjoy TCG. So this event I'm really hyped for. I did a preparation guide and also recommendations for deck for the new event, so nothing else to say, let's get into a video. So what's this event about? Basically this event you will be playing against certain characters on the TCG tournament and you will be obtaining a lot of good rewards. In order to obtain these good rewards, and if you don't want to think about what deck you should play and things like that, or what you should prioritize now that you haven't played in TCG in a lot of time or you have been playing, I will tell you what you should prioritize and which cards you should buy, which characters are the best with certain compositions. And also, this is the new cards that are coming into the game. Basically, we have Venti, Zhongli, Raiden Shogun, and Nahida, the 4 Archons. I'm really hyped about every one single of them because I want to see how they play, how they manage to do certain things. But we will be talking about these cards in another video because right now when I'm recording this video, Genshin Impact hasn't released yet what they do, and when they do, we will be talking about what you should do with these characters. They are good, they are bad, which archetypes you can fit them in. What I can tell you is that Nahida seems really strong, but we will see when the characters come out finally. So let's get into my recommendations for this event, what you should do and what you should prepare for. So first thing first, I highly recommend doing the matches against everyone in the overworld just to obtain the money, because having money helps you getting cards basically, and they will give you a lot of the currency. I highly recommend doing every single match if you can. If you don't want it, you don't have to do it. If you can and you run out of content, I remember to you that you can do the duels inside the Tavern Tail. Basically here you have some duels. I already did all of them, but as you can see you have Sarah, Ellen and Darina, which I played against too, and you can play against them. Basically with this you will obtain some currency that is used on this shop. In this shop you can do certain things. Let's go see it. Basically you can buy skins, but what we want is purchase provisions and get the character invitation letter, because we need at least some of them. I already have 4 in my inventory, so I don't want to keep more because I just need the new 4 Archons that are coming into the game. But this is the way to invite characters and make them play against you, and you can obtain their respective cards. For what? Equipment cards, super cards, event cards, and the characters that we want to obtain. So basically, which characters do you want to obtain? Ganyu? I don't see Ganyu, I'm sorry. Where is Ganyu, man? Here. Ganyu is really good. It has a lot of AoE. We will be talking about decks later, but Ganyu has a lot of good teams where she can be played and it's really good. Tainari or Dendro characters in general, Kolei, it's super great. For example, Fischl, play Fischl. I think they give it you for free. Fischl is amazing. And you can play Fischl, Kolei, and for example Tainari, or Fischl, Kolei, and you can invite Keking, which you will have a really strong Aggravate team. You can do that, or also you can play the J-Plum Terror's Room if you want. Both of the options are really good, but for other characters that are not on Aggravate, I highly recommend Ganyu. Ayaka is really good. Bennett is super strong too, and Keking is really great in all the teams that she can be played in. Sumeru is really good too, but you have to play in certain teams that maybe are a bit harder than others. Or you can even play a full healing team, like for example Barbara, Kokomi, and for example Noelle to deal some damage, or Ito, or another healer like Jin. You can play something like that. Highly prefer this type of teams. You can also play another type of teams, for example getting Chongyun, Diluc, and for example Bennett, and you will have a melt composition. You can also play a lot of teams. Later you can check the decks that I highly recommend to you. They will be on the timestamp, so you can go and check it out. For purchase cards, what cards you should get. Basically from here, don't get the weapons. Most of the weapons are not that useful, and most of the artifacts don't do that much, okay? They aren't really good. But the super cards and the event cards are some of them that are really strong. For example, Star Signs, I haven't lost yet. Strategize, leave it to me. These are the ones that you should prioritize. And if you want to play double element, I highly recommend getting one of them. For example, if you want to play Aggravate teams with double Electro, get Elemental Resonance from Electro. If you want to play double Dendro, get the Elemental Resonance of the Dendro. Or, for example, you can get also the foods. For example, Mushroom Pizzas and Lotus Flower Crisp, because it heals you and makes you get less damage. On the other hand, you have super cards. Super cards are some that are really good. Payments are really strong. Leven is super strong. Tim is decent. Catherine is really strong because it makes you do a quick swap and you don't have to wait a lot of time to do all the play. Sorry. Lishu is really good because it gives you energy to all the team. And Parametric Transformer is really good too, because also gives you some dices, which is really good. Also here, I think I forgot to mention, I don't see it, where is it? Oh, the Changing Shifts is really good because it makes you swap for free, so I highly recommend getting all of these cards. So yeah, this is the cards that I highly recommend getting or going for it, as if you don't have anything of the TCG. So let's get into the deck section. Okay, so starting with the deck section, I prepared a lot of decks for you guys, so you can choose whatever you prefer. The first one is Tainari Aggro. You can change every other Dendro for every other Dendro, basically. You can put here, for example, the Dendro Terror's Room. I don't see here, where is it? For example, and instead of Fischl, you can put, for example, Sarah, Keking, and things like that. There's no problem with this. And as you can see here, you have the cards that we will be playing. I'm gonna talk a bit about every single card, but in case that you mention it, you can swap every card for whatever you need or whatever you want. Basically, the first one is the Collate card. The Collate card is amazing. If you do an elemental reaction related with Dendro, it will deal additional damage. Pretty broken. This to reroll dices. This gives you Omni dices, so you have more dices, more actions. It's pretty neat. These two do quick swaps, which is pretty amazing. Doing quick swapping is super strong. Leven, because it's broken, gives you two dices, yes, and 2 drawing cards. These 2 draw cards. These 2 get more energy from your characters, and you get a lot more ultimates up. More dices of Dendro, more damage on the reactions of Dendro on the same round. This basically gives you Omni dices, drawing cards, fast actions. This in case they play something that summons and we kill the summon. These 2 get more damage from the ultimate. These 2 get less damage. Basically, the next time you get damage, it gets -3. The pizza, which is amazing because it hits you over the time and really good. The second team I want to talk about is Aggro. Basically, this team is like a Vaporize team. It focuses mainly on using the ultimate of Klee and then swapping to Mona and dealing a lot of damage with Mona and the Pyro Fatui agent. Basically, this is the deck. You have to do the ultimate of Klee. If you don't do the ultimate of Klee, this deck falls off really hard. You can change, for example, Klee for Bennett and this team will work fine too. You could have here Gambler's Earrings, which is super good. Paimon, more Omni dices. Leven, you get more Omni dices when you don't use dices, so you can do, for example, you imagine that you don't want to do any more actions, so you save up from 3 dices, sorry, I don't know how to talk today, and you will get 2 Omni dices and 2 cards on the next turn. I didn't say, but Gambler's Earrings, basically what it does, if you kill an enemy, you get 2 Omni dices for free. These 2 get more cards, more energy, more dices, as I told you. These 2 get more damage on the reaction related with Pyro. Basically, you have to do a Pyro related reaction, which is basically what we have here. Paimon, because it's broken, gives you Omni dices, free swapping, free rolling dices, super good. Kokomi is super incredible too because you draw cards. This in case you get kill someone, you can play I Haven't Lost Yet and come back the game. One quick swap just in case. Remember that Mona gives us quick swapping, so you don't have to spend that much time on swapping between your characters. This to get energy from your other characters to one of your characters. For example, when you want to ult, this helps you do it faster. Add Ostentation, more damage. Basically, you can one-shot someone, for example, doing this into the ultimate of the Fatui agent. It's super good. And finally, this to get less damage over the rounds. Okay, let's get into the Ganyu Freeze and my favorite team. This team is super good. Basically consists of Chinkyu, Rain Swords, and Ganyu doing the charge shot. Ganyu charge shots do a lot of damage AoE, and this a lot of damage. Basically, on turn 1, you want to try to pop up the ultimate of Chinkyu. I will tell you how when we get into the cards. And then go Mona. With Mona, you can do Paymons, Livens, and things like that. Fast turn, and when it comes your turn, you can do fast action to go Ganyu. And with Ganyu, you do charge shot and freeze everyone. Basically, this is the deck. You want to keep this always on your hand. The Undivided Heart is the best card in the entire deck. Basically, what it does is that the elemental skill, the charge attack from Ganyu is +1 damage, and the piercing damage is 3 instead of 2. Super good. The Gambler's Earrings, because as I told you, if you kill anyone, you get 2 dice for free. Paymon, it's broken. Timmy, when it happens to play 3 rounds, the 3rd round it gives you 1 Omni dice and you draw 1 card. Really good. Leven, exactly the same as I told you before. This guy, the same. This guy basically gives you energy, more dices, this to heal your party, just in case they deal a lot of damage to you. The Paymon, just to get Omni elements. Free swapping, because it's really important to get free swaps. Reroll dices, draw cards, quick swapping. Basically, there's a Lotus Crisp, which is -3 damage, and more healing, just in case. Basically, you have to maintain your Ganyu alive and do charge shots with your Chinkyu. Try not to get Chinkyu killed really fast. Just try to protect him a bit when you want to ult with him. My main goal on this team is play Lishu on turn 1. Go starting with Mona. Go to Chinkyu. Chinkyu already has 1 energy. You do a normal attack, for example, and you ult. And then turn 2, what you do? You go Mona, and you put, for example, Paymon. I'll leave it on the field. I keep, for example, the Gamble series, fast turn. And then next turn, you go Ganyu, play Undivided Heart, and start spamming charge shots until it's over the game. Basically, this is the course of this deck. This deck is awesome, has almost no counterplay. Only has 1 deck that it counters him, and I will tell you later on the video. It's an Electrocharged deck, which is super great. But yeah, this is the Ganyu deck. Let's get into this next one, which is Overload Control. Overload Control, it's amazing. It's one of my favorite decks. Pretty much the same as with the Mona deck, but instead of having Vaporize, you do Overloads. And basically, you have to play the elemental skill from Keking. You will get this card, which basically what it does is that even though Keking is not on the field, when you play it, Keking starts on the field and does 1 action to do electro damage. It's super great because, for example, let's put a normal play with this deck. You do Stellar Restoration turn 1, swap to Bennett, start hitting with Bennett, and apply some Pyro. And when you have 1 enemy apply with Pyro, you play this card, the Lightning Stiletto, and you will deal a lot of damage. You will make him, for example, lose the combo on the Chinkyu deck, for example. The Ganyu deck, sorry. You can do the Overload on Chinkyu, and Chinkyu can't pop up the ultimate, which is really, really annoying. Trust me that it's really annoying. And if a 2 agent because you want to search for some kills or tank some damage, it's super good. This deck consists on the Bennett talent, super great, super broken. The Gambler's Earrings, is super great too because you kill anyone and get more Omni dices. This to draw more cards. Paymon, Leven, all of this is the same core, almost always on all the decks. This to deal more damage with the Pyro like that. Free swapping, comeback mechanic, leave it to mid for quick swaps, energy. As you can see, all the decks, or almost all the decks, are played for this core of here, and it helps you a lot. There aren't really good cards. I mean, there aren't only these cards, and basically that's it. And some tech cards here and there, but almost all the decks are the same. The Death to Temptation is broken because it deals more damage on the ultimate, minus damage, and a bit of healing. Okay, next deck. The Electrocharged deck. Okay, Electrocharged deck is the counter for Excellency for Ganyu. Ganyu deck suffers a lot against this deck. This deck is an Electrocharge. It's super easy to play this deck. I highly recommend that if you don't know how to play a lot, play this deck. Try to get the Oceanid elemental skills. You have 2 of them. You can play for 1 summon or 2 summons. These 2 summons, it uses 5 dice, and the 1 summon it needs 3. Basically, you want to summon with Rodella. and then go official, summon with the Knight Rider, and then lastly go Mirror Maiden, and with Mirror Maiden you want to do the refraction. Basically refraction, what it does is the character that is attached this, it will increase the damage dealt by Hydro +1. Basically, for example, if a Rodalia invocation deals 1 damage, with this it will deal 2, and the invocations that deal 2 damage with this will deal 3 damage. It's really broken, and with the Electrocharge is broken because it makes you do AoE damage, so it's an amazing deck and super easy to play. Just press the invocations and then go Mirror Maiden. That's all the play. And for this deck is a bit different. It has almost all the cards exactly the same, but you have the General Sanction Helm because it makes you resist a lot more. It makes you have 2 shield points. You can also play more foods and have more healing and just see how they are dying all the time, and you just have to press the summon, and that's all the game. Drawing cards, Paymon, Lipen, more dices, healing, more Omni dices, free swapping, the new 1 card to redraw dices. I haven't lost yet because it's super good. Leave It To Me is super good too. Card charts because you want to get energy to some characters. Aetus Temptation in case you want to ult with any of the 3. The 3 guys, the 3 girls, sorry, that you have here are super good on their ultimates. Their ultimates are deal a lot of damage and are super good. Lotus Flower Crisp because less damage, and this to heal you a bit more. Okay, so I will say that this is the last deck, but I have 2 more. I have the AoE from Blank that I bring it to the channel. It's basically an AoE team. You have the Superconduct reaction. Basically you put Fischl and then you want to ult with Ganyu, and you will do Superconduct. Superconduct basically what it does is 1 damage AoE to everyone, and it deals a lot because you remember play Pause, for example, put the ultimate of Ganyu, and Ganyu ultimate also deals 1 piercing damage to everyone. So basically you are doing 3 damage to the guy that is on the field and 2 damage to everyone else. And also after doing all of this, you can go kicking and start killing them because they will be super low on HP. For this deck, what I recommend? Well, you have this version, you can play without artifacts, it's okay too. This 2 artifact gives you elemental energy when you use the elemental burst. This basically what it does is reroll dices, drawing cards because we'll do a lot of piercing and damage from reaction, sorry. This to get more energy, more dices, more energy to your characters because as you can see, putting the ultimate of Ganyu on the field is really important, so you might have to do it. This to get more dices that you want, both of them. I have lost yet to get combat mechanic. Leave It To Me to do switch characters, and this is super good because, for example, put an artifact on 1, but he has already all the energy. Play this, change it to another one, and the other one will get all the energy. Later you have Send Off from Hutao, Aetus Temptation, and Lotus Flower Crisp. Pretty straightforward deck. And finally you have the double Anemo control, one of my favorite decks. This deck consists on putting Mona, doing some Hydro, and then quick swapping because Mona passive makes you quick swap for free once to Jin or Sucrose and start doing swirls and doing AoE damage and not letting your opponent play. Basically this deck consists on a lot of healing. It's really annoying to play against, and this deck is super good against certain decks. For example, you have Chaotic Entropy to deal more damage with your Sucrose ultimate, Akira Fabonio to do more damage with Jin and heal you a lot, Lucky Dog Circle because it's broken and the healing is super strong, Legion Harbor because you want to draw cards, more rerolls, more healing, Paymon Liven because this is the core that heals you a lot, getting so much dices, Chantenin to get more cards, this to get more Anemo dices. This is basically a quick swap and it gives you 1 Omni element. Best Strat and Companion because it's broken. The strategy is to draw cards. This to kill someone that they summon to you. The Lotus Flower Crisp, and finally Mushroom Pizza. So yeah, basically these are all the decks that I highly recommend to you. The other version of the double Anemo control is with the Mirror Maiden, but I highly recommend the Mona version if you want to play it. This deck is a bit hard to play, but it's really fun. If you want to play, get any of those decks. These decks have incredible results, and for the event you will have 0 problems beating almost everyone with this type of decks. So yeah, this is the whole video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like, subscribe. It helps me a lot to keep growing the channel and the community. I really love TCG, I really love theory crafting too. If you want to keep in mind that and stay on the channel, it helps me a lot. Thank you everyone for watching, and I see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.